Good evening, everybody. We are here for the Piqua City Schools Board of Education meeting tonight. Mrs. McMacken is joining us on a conference call by phone, so the other four of us are here. So if you don't see her, you hear her, she is participating. So if we could, I'd like to, Mr. Hill, the roll call.
Sure. Mr. Frazier.
Here.
Mr. Ford.
Here.
Mr. Height.
Here.
Mr. Bostic.
Here.
Mrs. McMacken.
Here.
Okay, please join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
The United States of America,
Republic,
to the republic for which it
one
stands,
nation,
one
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty,
and
justice for all.
justice for all.
Good job, Kelly.
Okay, this is like everything else, I think, everybody. This is kind of a live drill. We're doing some things at teleconferencing, and there's been a lot of precautions taken. So just patience on everybody's part, and, just praying for everybody, hoping all of you and your families and everybody is doing well. So next thing I'd like to do is get approval of the minutes for the February 27th meeting.
So moved. Second.
Okay, thank you. All approve, please say by saying aye.
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 Same sign oppose. Okay, that passes. Okay. The approval of tonight's agenda, everybody has had a chance to look at it? Okay. All right. All of those in favor, please vote by saying aye.
Need a motion, right? Need a
So
motion.
moved. Sorry.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Now, okay, all who approve by saying aye.
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 Same sign opposed. Okay, that measure passes. Okay, Mr. Height, the Upper Valley Career Center.
No report to make. We were supposed to meet Monday. We did not. We're going to meet this coming Monday virtually.
Okay, all right, thank you. Do we have, I have nothing from the public, anything at all, Mr. Lyons?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Hiddle, Treasurer's Report.
Good evening. The only thing that we have tonight to consider in my report is looking at the tax rates for the FY 20 year or 21 year. There's really no major changes to that. What you could see in that the tax rate changes just reflect what we had approved with the 1 mil reduction in taxes overall to the public and the permanent improvement levy going on. That's the changes that are in this report. So the county has to sign off on it. This is using the new tax rates that were developed from the reevaluation process and the valuations that were used on homeowners for this go around. Any questions about that? The other thing I have in my agenda is the regular reports. Were there any questions about that? Okay. I will just say, I guess, for one thing from my office is that I'm already working and starting through the process of what to do as we move through this pandemic. It's obviously going to impact tax revenues. I've looked into sort of as a 1 month of people out of work. We're talking about the vicinity of $480,000 every month that people are out of work. Governor talked about a 20% cut in budgets to people, and you're looking at somewhere in the vicinity of $3.7 million in potential money from the state of Ohio. So again, nothing's in stone, but just the things that I've heard, like what does that mean? How much is that going to impact us financially? It could be pretty drastic, but given the situation, I can't tell you what's going to happen. It's just trying to make sure that I don't get caught off guard and just what these numbers are when they talk about them.
Everyone's in that situation, right? It's not.
Oh yeah, it's not just us. It'll be everybody that's in the same boat. So it's just, but we got a plan. We got to know what to do. You have to be able to afford what you're doing. So
Right.
if there's places where we can change things, we'll look into it. But we've been running lean the way it has been, so it's pretty hard to say, hey, we can go make $4 million worth of cuts. There's just not $4 million worth of availability to do that without drastically impacting education.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay, entertain motion for treasurer's agenda vote.
So moved.
Second?
Okay. Okay, Mr. Hiddle, is this got to be roll call?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Ford,
Aye.
Mr. Height,
Aye.
Mr. Frazier,
Aye.
Mr. Bostic,
Aye.
Mrs. Mackin.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, superintendent's report, Mr. Thompson?
First one is just a technical change. We used to have a position called business coordinator, and we don't have that anymore. So we're just changing that over to the assistant superintendent's role. So it's just a minor change there. So we would need to take a call on that.
Okay. Okay, a motion for,
So moved.
okay.
Second.
Okay. Okay, all in favor, please vote by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Same sign. Okay, that one passes.
Then just some general updates in terms of questions and things we've been getting with everything that's happening. So first off, we're kind of a week behind with all of our lunches because we had actually ordered food based on coming back from spring break and going into classes because the governor, of course, did that the Thursday before we went on spring break. So we're all kind of caught up right now. In order to keep people from having to come out, including our staff and parents and so on, we're going to switch next week to whatever the other schools in the county have done, where we're going to give out 5 days worth of food on one day. So starting Monday, same locations, Piqua High School and PCIS at noon, we're going to give out 5 days worth of food to each person that comes up that has that need until we run out in that one day. And then we'll do that every Monday. I'll send out a reminder. It is Cook's Choice still, so we'll have a variety of different kinds of things there, but it depends on what's available too. So like today, we didn't get a milk order because milk was out. Everybody's kind of trying to order surplus foods now, and it's getting harder to get some of those things. So we'll get what we can, get it in place, and we promise we'll get that out to people and help as much as we can. We did have our first distribution of computers as well as packets. We're trying to get as many people as we can online. That allows teachers to give more direct feedback on an ongoing basis when they can do that. It's faster. Packets, we're not quite sure yet how to get them back from everybody, to provide ongoing feedback, et cetera. So we're working really hard to find out exactly who truly doesn't have an online setting. If they need a computer, we've been able to provide that. We've had a few people call in and say they weren't able to get it during our open times, and our technology department has been really good about making sure people get those. So our goal again is to get as many people as we can to be on online instruction. We have information on our website on how to get some internet services from Spectrum. That's just www.piqua.org. And if we need help from the technology department, they can call 937-916-3150. They can get help for any kind of technology issues or questions they might have. Reminder to people that our playgrounds are closed. We do have some students that are trying to come and play basketball and so on, but our grounds are closed. So are the playgrounds. They're not safe at this time, so we don't want people gathering and playing there as well. There was an announcement by the state governor finally that the state testing is no longer in place this year. That has been waived, so we don't have to worry about that issue. So that's all done. Most people have probably already seen that. Question we're getting about the 8th grade Washington trip. That is at the end of May. So even if school is closed for the remainder of the year, we're going to wait and find out what happens with that, because a lot of people didn't purchase the insurance. And if that's the case, they would only get half the money back if it were canceled. And we feel like it's in the best interest right now to wait this out a little bit, find out what happens long term, and we can reschedule it. Even if they're going into their 9th grade year and we do it in August or some later part, we can reschedule it. Everybody would still get to go on the trip and not lose any funds. So we're going to wait right now on that. We don't want people to lose money just because we make a decision too quickly. Getting questions about graduation and other celebrations. So again, those may be postponed We'll work through those as we can. We'll do as many of those as we can in a timely manner. Things like announcing scholarships and so on, we'll just have to play that by ear. As we get more information from the governor, we'll make those decisions and get that out. And to clarify, I get that information the same time everybody else does. So I'm watching the same news releases. When the governor releases that information, we scramble and try to find answers as fast as we can, and then we get that information out. But we have no intention right now of canceling graduation and those important kinds of things for our seniors. We want them to have those opportunities as well, so we'll work through those. Kindergarten registrations have been postponed. Those were starting here in early April, but we're not able to gather everybody together, so we'll get more information out on that as well. We have time that's for next year, so the good news is we can get those in still, but hold off on those. We've had several phone calls on those. If people have any questions, they can contact us at an email where the treasurer, the assistant superintendent, and myself can all answer questions. It's board@piqua.org. So BOARD@piqua.org. If they send an email to that, one of three of us will respond to that and we'll get an answer out very quickly. They can also go to our website and just scroll down a little bit past those first kind of pictures that you see there and go to remote learning information. And they can get all kinds of current information that's happening in the district, things about the coronavirus and what the governor's announcing and how that impacts all of our work and the students' futures. Of course, contact principals, contact teachers. All those email addresses have already been established, and teachers and parents have been in contact with each other all year long. Let's see here. I do recommend that people not post things on social media. We're not following the social media pages. Sometimes a parent will say something like, "Does anybody know how to get a computer?" And they'll just throw it out there, and a lot of people are throwing lots of different answers out there. Well, I did this and I did that. My recommendation is contact us directly. We'll get the most factual information quickly to them, and they'll get exactly what they need. And sometimes we need to make some adjustments if they didn't get them on time anyway, so they might as well come to the source and let us help instead of posting it out on social media and trying to get, things like that. I think that's it.
I would just reiterate that the board@piqua.org is probably your fastest way to get communication. As we're very short-staffed and the number of people that we can talk to, of the people who are answering the phone, it's not as easy to get to everyone who's calling, and so people are calling back multiple times and getting frustrated. So the board@piqua.org would speed up the process because we can get you to the person you're trying to reach faster. So I just wanted to reiterate that.
Yeah.
Mr. Thompson, what was the tech help number?
The tech hub number again is 937-916-3150.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And we are working with the skeletal crew because during the day, you got Mr. Lyons and myself, we're helping with school lunches. So we're out buildings trying to do that. We have one person that's been here, but we're working on even getting the board phone number forwarded onto our phones so that when people call, we can answer questions. I've had people call up to 9 o'clock at night, and I've answered and helped do whatever I can. So we'll help. We'll get people to where they need to be as soon as we can, and we'll make the adjustments as the governor makes new announcements.
One thing I would like to say before we go on is I would like to thank everybody in our district and in the community. It has been awesome, and I know the board members all, I think, feel the same way. I mean, you guys, I know whenever you call, it's like you're running up or down somewhere, so it is. And I like to think it is like a live drill.
Yeah.
This is unfolding every minute. Something changes, and you have to go back and redo. So patience, is going to be key.
Yeah.
Things will get done, and sometimes they have to switch it.
Yep.
So, but thank you, everybody. We're just so blessed to have all of you. We're very fortunate. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's it for my update. Just for my agenda, would like to recommend these board approve these donations. We had some for the Glen Helen trip that we were able to get in a couple months ago, and then a lot for these 6th grade Olympics that will be at the end of the year. So hopefully we'll be able to get those in. The students have actually been planning that and prepping that Olympics. So we have some donations for that. And then you can scroll that down a little bit. I can't see what's next on that.
We're on the personnel agenda.
Is that it? Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's it. Thanks.
We need to vote.
You vote on the approval of those, yes.
Okay, may we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Okay. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Same sign? Okay. And sorry, Kelly, I got a little ahead there. Okay.
You're doing great.
Mr. Lyons?
It's a very simple agenda. Are there any questions on that one? There are only 8 items on there tonight. Any questions at all?
Nope.
No.
If not, then I'll just ask for your approval on that.
Okay. May we have a motion?
So moved.
There you go.
Second.
Could you hear me?
Yes, we did. Thank you. Still, we got a second?
Second.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Passes. Hearing of the public on non-agenda items, we have no one. Okay. No old business? Okay. New business, well, I see we have the Neola Board Policy Update 38.2.
So these are new updates. This will be the first read. Most of these are just technical things. Many times laws change and things happen that require us to update our board policy, and that's what most of these are for. So if you had specific questions, we can certainly answer those, but some of that is just replacing one word with another or a value to another value. So
I'll
Nothing-
also add to that we met with our Neola rep before this crisis happened. So we're going to see some changes probably in some of these policies
Yeah.
because they're impacting what we can do for next year, which a lot of these policies were. So even though we're going to approve them, we'll probably see addendums to those policies would be my guess. Things like teacher evaluation are in there. And that's probably
many
what-
of our policies,
Right.
not just these, but across the board, you'll see that. Yeah.
I know I actually went back and looked at ours on disease or
Mhm.
communicable or whatever contagious. So it says we defer to the
Mhm.
Board of Health.
Yep.
So we're good for that. So.
Yep.
Okay. So motion.
No,
Oh,
just first read.
okay. First
Yep.
read. All right. Well, and Jeremy is the approval of.
Yep, the next one is to approve the purchase of auditorium seating in the Hartselle Center for the Performing Arts. We're doing this off of a contract bid pricing, and it's going to allow us to get handicap seating in there as well as update the seating, which is now 40 years old, and some of it is not doing so well. And we also get to help widen some of the seats so that's more comfortable for all of our guests who are attending our productions. So, are there any questions about that?
Just a quick note too, the Lungard Foundation is funding all the new handicap section and seating. So that's a great contribution to us. So we're really pleased for that.
They provided $50,000 of that bill.
Much appreciated.
Yep.
Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any questions? Any comments? Okay. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Okay. Second. Okay, all in favor? Oh, roll call, Jeremy, on
Sure.
this?
Mr. Height,
Aye.
Mr. Frazier,
Aye.
Mr. Bostic,
Aye.
Mr. Ford,
Aye.
Mrs. McMacken.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, well, that completes it. Any comments, any questions or anything?
Just on the new work, do we do change orders on the high school without meeting?
So tomorrow we do have a bid opening for the high school renovation. So that, again, the graciousness of the district, the community, they passed that PI levy that allowed us to generate the revenue we needed to renovate the high school. So the first bid opening will be tomorrow. And what we're going to ask is that we just go ahead and we'll do a notice to proceed if the bid is within line of the budget. And then we'll bring it to you at the next board meeting, depending April or May, and I think we can determine that as we move forward, but we won't require you to come together next week, so that eliminates that problem. And again, it's the same thing if we have change orders that come along. The change orders just have to be approved at some point in the process, but they don't have to be done immediately. So as we're in this less meetings and formal settings, We'll just go ahead and continue to bring them to you as needed, but then Dwayne and I can decide if they're acceptable or not, and then we'll bring them to you for approval when we get together.
Okay, well, any other comments or questions, anybody? Well, next board meeting will be April 30th at 6 p.m. and let's just hope that things will be better by then. That's something we're praying for. So everybody stay safe and thank you. Okay, meeting is adjourned. Or motion for adjournment.
Second.
Second, okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, its meeting is adjourned.